No, the girl isn't crying because her boyfriend proposed to her. He came back from the army and surprised her in the middle of the game. A little kindness goes a long way. This young waiter was kind and nice to his guests, so the man decided to give him a $100 tip. And then another $100 tip. And then another one. By this time, the boy was in tears. Okay, see this man that got his foot stuck between the track and the train? Well, one person saw that he called for backup. You know, a few guys here, a few guys there, and presto, they lifted the freaking train.
Well done. Oh, I got him out.
One of the female track runners at the Rio Olympics 2016 had an injury. She took one of the other girls down with her, and they helped each other across the finish line. There should be a medal for good sportsmanship. This little boy that got attacked by the security guards is going to get the surprise of his lifetime. First, Sonny Bill Williams, the boy's idol, stopped the security guards from taking him away. Second, he gave the boy the rugby medal he won in 2015. Now that's what we call a lucky kid. We don't know how close this guy is to his barber, but the barber shaved his head to support his friend who's going through chemo. Okay, we don't know why these kids are crying so much about losing a soccer game, but when their opponents saw them, they came for help. Like 2 minutes ago, these guys were rivals, and here they are trying to console each other. See this cop in the passenger seat? Well, it's his last day on the job, and his final call was delivered by his very own son. The man was in tears by the end of the call.
For being the best role model a son could ask for. And I love you.
Some people throw cheese ball jars in the lake. Others help get them off the bears who wear them like a helmet. Such is the world. This guy is a basketball player, and he called out his cheerleader girlfriend during the speech. At first she was a little stunned, but then she was moved to tears when he dropped to one knee and popped the question. Helping the elderly takes on a whole new meaning when you back up the truck and lower the ram to let this sweet old lady get to her car, which was surrounded by water. Nothing special, just a little girl crying her eyes out because she got to meet her favourite baseball player. This mother was reading the names of the attendants from a list. As soon as she read her son's name on the list, she started looking around the crowd, and sure enough, she found her soldier son. Here's the first time this lady heard her husband say, "I love you." It's not that he never said it before, it's that her hearing impairment was a problem. After going through several treatments, the woman got her hearing back. She was absolutely thrilled to be hearing again. Tears of joy rolled down her cheeks, and then her husband said the L word.
See if you can say something to her.
I love you, Allison.
I love you. That's awesome.
Since Ellen is always giving stuff away to people, this time the tables have turned. Ashton Kutcher, her good friend and neighbour, decided to surprise her on the show. Kutcher and another guy decided to donate $4 million to the Ellen Foundation for Saving the Gorillas. Ellen was almost brought to tears. The Australian Fire Brigade had its hands full during the forest fires that broke out a few years ago in the country. Here's one of the firefighters giving an exhausted and burnt koala a drink. Somehow we think that this man ran the marathon much easier after seeing his daughter. She flew from San Diego just to surprise him. This woman was down on her luck. She needed some money for food, so the last thing she had to give was her mother's ring. After inspecting the piece and valuing it, he gave her the money, and then he gave her the ring back. This is the first Christmas this man will get to spend without his wife. She'd passed away earlier that year, and he was left with only his 2 daughters. Ellen wanted to bring a little joy and happiness in the holiday season and invited them on the show and gave them a gift. What was the gift? Well, the man is now the proud owner of his home, as she paid off his $300,000 mortgage. See the kid that's receiving the glasses? Well, his teacher is colorblind and he just bought the color glasses. Once he got to school, he shared them with his student. Now that's the type of teachers we need. Smash that like button if you agree. When you want to play Xbox with your bros, but you know one of your bros is down on his luck, what do? You hook him up. That's what you do. This Redditor found a tired bumblebee sitting on the front porch. She plucked a small lavender flower and carefully approached the bee. As soon as this little guy smelled the nectar, it got up and went to work. You're never too old to learn. This grandpa decided to become a baker at 90 years old. Now, every time he visits his grandchildren, he bakes them a cake, and you can just see they're all wonderful. This popular football player paid a visit to a local school. When he went to the cafeteria and saw that one of the kids was sitting all alone, he immediately sat next to him. The picture became an international success, and soon enough, all the kids wanted to sit next to this boy the next day. A female police officer from Argentina found a malnourished baby in the streets. The picture of her breastfeeding this baby went viral, and she became an international sensation. When this female soccer player collapsed on the court, all of her teammates as well as her opponents came to help her. Maybe it was just a heat stroke, but still, you don't see stuff like this in men's soccer. This man is a Spanish taxi driver. In his home country, he became known as the man who carries people to the hospital free of charge. So, when the hospital caught wind of this, they gave him a standing ovation and an envelope of money. And the Daughter of the Year award goes to... This girl actually brought her father to a concert and translated all of the lyrics to the songs in sign language. The school custodian you see in the video is deaf. All of these kids learned sign language and they sang the happy birthday song to him using sign language. This film crew saw that a group of penguins was trapped in the snow. Instead of letting them starve to death, they dug a path and helped them escape. After being her adoptive dad for 13 years, this girl finally thought it would be the right time to ask him to adopt her. The best part is, she never even told her mum. Walking down the streets of Paris, this tourist saw a baby hanging from the 4th floor balcony. Without hesitation, the man climbed all 4 floors and he got to the boy in time. Then, Emmanuel Macron, the French president, invited him to the presidential palace where he was offered citizenship. Okay, this is just heartwarming. At one point, the grandma was dancing with her granddaughter. Now it's the other way around. This is the standard when it comes to delivery guys. So you'd understand our amazement when we saw this DHL delivery guy doing his job properly and not only delivering the package, but hiding the second package that was already on the porch. DHL should make that guy manager. These two boys were just like everyone else. They were laughing and bullying this one kid. One day they caught themselves and stopped and corrected themselves. How? Well, since everyone was bullying the kid for his clothes, they chipped in and got him some new gear. Oh, but it doesn't end there. Ellen saw the video, reached out to the school and invited them to the show. Second, they got to meet Will Smith, who was moved by the video. Third, they got a bag full of limited edition clothes. And finally, Ellen gave each of them a check for $10,000. That's the power of kindness. We're led to believe that sharks are vicious predators, but ask anyone who knows a thing or two about sharks and they'll tell you these guys don't attack unless provoked. These two guys probably knew that, and that's why they helped drag the shark back into the water. This is our favourite video of a soldier coming back to his wife. He bought a giant teddy bear, took out the stuffing and got inside. A friend of his called his wife to read out a letter her husband had written from the army. Sure, the letter brought her to tears, and that was sweet. But look what happened when the camera guy told her to turn around.
Look behind you.
We have to be honest, this is the best way to tell your parents they're going to be grandparents. Of course, we'd advise getting married before that, otherwise you're going to be in a world of pain.
Going to be a
Grandfather.
Oh, ew! Oh, are you serious? Oh!
In a small neighborhood of Istanbul, the people organized a crazy surprise for one of their neighbors. Because he was deaf, the young man could only communicate through sign language. So the entire neighborhood learned sign language and filmed the guy's reaction secretly.